For a test of a null hypothesis being that a population proportion is equal to 0.50, the z-test statistic equals 1.02. We want to find the p-value for the alternative hypothesis where our population proportion is greater than 0.50. So for this, our p-value would be equal to 1 minus norm dot dist. Well, let me use this specific one actually, just so it's a little bit nicer to type. Norm dot s dot dist of 1.0, 1.02 comma true, since we're using the standard normal one. If you put this into Excel, you should get an answer of about 0.1539. So because of that, we could write a short little statement for this. At the 5% level of significance, because 0.1539 is greater than 5%, we fail to reject the null hypothesis of the proportion being equal to 0.50. Okay. The second part of this wants to find the p-value for an alternative hypothesis where p is equal to not equal to 0.50. So if we need a very quick drawing of this, I'm going to use the z-score one just because it's slightly easier to see here. We were given a value of 1.02. This first question dealt with just this area right here. And the second one wants the area also to the left of negative 1.02, since this is a not equal to relationship. But one of the nice things is, since we just calculated it up here, the p-value, since the standard normal curve is symmetric about 0, both of these areas are the same. We found the area wants to be 0.1539, so for the area not equal to 0.50, this will be 2 times 0.1539. And this gives us a value of 0.3078. And naturally, that's even greater than the one that we just found. So because of that, we're also not rejecting the null hypothesis here. So at the 5% level of significance, we fail to reject the null hypothesis of the proportion being equal to 0.50. Okay. And the last one on here, p-value of for the alternative hypothesis being that the proportion is less than 0.50, that deals with this area here to the left of negative 1.02. So because of that, this also gives a p-value. And you know, we could check this if we want using norm.s.dist of negative 1.02 comma true. But because it's symmetric, it'll give us the same value of 0.1539. And because of that, the conclusion that we have up there is the same conclusion for here, which is that at the 5% level of significance. We fail to reject the null hypothesis of the proportion being equal to 0.50. And then finally, do any of these p-values give strong evidence against the null hypothesis? None of them did. So no. All of the p-values are greater than the level of significance.